I don't think Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird. Stop You know it. What? You are.
My daughter is beautiful, Ivanka.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of it.
I have to tell you something. If someone said that my daughter was a hot piece of ass, I would put my fist through his face.
You can call it creepy humor. You can call it bad parenting, but when a father jokes on live radio about dating his own daughter and then nods, along as Howard Stern calls her a hot piece of urine just raising eyebrows, you're raising alarms? Now, those tapes are back in the spotlight in Ivanka's perfect pro-mask. Let's just say it's not holding up well. All statements in this video are factual. Stay with me because the part he didn't want you to hear is coming.
You know who's one of the great beauties of the world, according to everybody, and I helped create her?
Who?
Ivanka. My daughter, Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body.
Ivanka Trump, most beautiful girl in the world. You know, I would marry her. These types of things, most people, certainly politicians, don't say.
Trump opens by introducing his daughter as if he were unveiling a luxury real estate project. And Stern, never one topaz on a punchline, offers to marry her. And the most telling part, Trump just sits there smiling like this is perfectly normal. Father-daughter Corcoran's for national radio. And what followed was a steady stream of remarks that made the audience wonder if Trump's idea of fatherhood came with a swimsuit competition. Subscribe now because Trump didn't just say it once, and we've got the tapes to prove it.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that part.
Donald Trump has always been proud of his daughter, and he was front row when Ivanka took to the catwalk during her short-lived career as a fashion model. Still, Donald Trump repeatedly points out how hot his daughter is, saying last year in a Rolling Stone article, "Yeah, she's really something, and what a beauty, that one. If I weren't happily married and, you know, her father."
At some point, it stopped sounding like Kia father being proud and started feeling like a man pitching a brand. From fashion shows to magazine quotes to awkward talk show moments, Trump kept describing Ivanka the way most people describe a product they're trying to sell, beautiful, marketable, off-limits, but barely. And every time he added another compliment, the room didn't warm, it winced. But what came next on Howard Stern's radio show would strip away any doubt.
Far from protecting his daughter from being talked about as a sex object, he has encouraged it multiple times. On Howard Stern's radio show in 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
She's
tall. She's almost 6 feet tall.
By the time Trump called Ivanka tall, beautiful, voluptuous, it didn't feel like a father talking. It felt like a pageant judge reading his own script, and the strangest part, he said it like it was the weather. No shift in tone, no hint of awkwardness. Just another on national radio about his own daughter. And while the audience laughed along, someone else had to live with those words. Ivanka.
What did he say to you, father to daughter, about that?
Well, he recognizes it was crude language. He was embarrassed that he had said those things, and he apologized. This is, that's not language consistent with any conversation I've ever had with him, certainly, or any conversation that I've overheard.
And while the audience laughed, Ivanka had to go on record. Asked what her father said to her about the Access Hollywood tape, she offers the safest line in the book. He was embarrassed. He apologized. And it's not language she's ever heard from him. It's polished, it's poised, and it's almost impossible to square with a lifetime of hot Mick moments.
Ivanka continues to defend her father and has said he is not sexist. Earlier, her Twitter account showed a little heart liking an article about her father's decade-old comments to Howard Stern. The Trump campaign directed us to Ivanka's brand manager, and a source there tells us it wasn't Ivanka who personally liked the item. It was, quote, a simple mistake by a staff member.
Even off camera, the defense never stops. CNN notes Ivanka has publicly said her father isn't sexist. And when her Twitter account liked a controversial post, the explanation was that a staffer did it by mistake. It's the kind of tidy cleanup that keeps their brand intact, but also keeps the questions piling up. And while Trump didn't seem to hear the alarm bells, Theorist of America did, and Cher. She didn't just flinch, she fired back, stick around. This is where it explodes.
To tell you something, if someone said that my daughter was a hot piece of ass, I would put my fist through his face. Someone who would bring down the country because he doesn't win does not deserve anything, deserves nothing. He deserves nothing. He does not deserve any kind of respect, loyalty. I don't think he has two moral fibers to rub together. He wants to be the king, but he doesn't want to do the work.
Sure doesn't hold back. She turns any offhand remark into a full Blanchard actor verdict. In her view, a father who speaks that way about his daughter has already told you everything you need to know about his respect for women and his readiness to lead. No need for political debates. In Cher's book, Thetis was given and Trump flunked it before the first question.
He was brought up rich. He had a good education. He's got all these young chicks. I don't know how young, but he's got all these young chicks, and he just keeps trading them in on younger chicks. And he's got all this money, and he's famous, and still he's such a he's so horrible and so mean.
Cher moves past the shock value and paints the bigger picture. Trump's life is a revolving door of younger women powered by wealth and ego. It's not just vanity. It's entitlement on an industrial scale. It's the pattern that matters. And patterns don't lie. I have never been so grateful for an ellipsis in my life. After Cher's double strike, Trevor slips in with a perfectly timed jab, grateful for the ellipsis that spared us. Whatever came next from Trump's mouth. A pause, a smirk, and the audience is primed forth next blow.
But Stern gave a blunt message to his listeners who support this guy these days. Take a listen.
The oddity in all of this is the people Trump despises most love him the most. Go look at Mar-a-Lago, see if there's any people that look like you. I'm talking to you in the audience. The Trump voter who, idolizes the guy. He despises you. I don't hate Donald. Donald's doing his thing. I hate you for voting for him.
Stern doesn't even waste time insulting Trump. He goes for the audience. His point is brutal. The man you idolize wouldn't even want to share a room with you. And somehow that's who you Chisato hand power to. If loyalty means caring for the man who looks down on you, maybe it's not loyalty. Maybe it's just volunteering to be the punchline.
And Trump has everything to lose. He could lose the next election. He could go to jail when he gets out of office. So he has a lot to lose. The other thing about Howard is that I admire so much is he has gone through an incredible metamorphosis.
It's reminder that the clock is ticking for Trump, not just on the campaign trail, but in courtrooms. And when a man's cornered like that, the skeletons in his closet don't stay hidden. They start walking out on their own, which is way before we talk about what Trump said about women on Howard Stern's show. Remember, these aren't old jokes. They're re-exhibits waiting for a trial.
You treat women with respect.
I can't say that either.
All right, good, all right. Somewhere in between.
I do. I treat women with great respect.
Treat women somewhere in between respect and do.
When most people are asked if they treat women with respect, the answer is a simple yes. For Trump, it's somewhere between respect and poop. That's not a slip of the tongue. That's a window into how he genuinely ranks half the population. And if that's his best answer on live radio, you can imagine what came next when the microphones kept trolling.
I tend to like beautiful women more than unattractive women. I don't know, maybe that makes me bad.
The National Enquirer, Howard, did a story on me not so long ago that in the history of the world, nobody has gotten more beautiful women than I have. If you're looking for a rocket scientist, don't turn in tonight. But if you're looking for a really beautiful woman, you should watch.
You like girls that are 5'1", they come up to you know where.
Do women come up to you and ever offer themselves to you?
Yes. They'll walk up and they'll flip their top.
Wow.
and they'll flip their panties.
Oh,
Body's a 10. What's the face?
Well, you never get to the face because the body's so...
Have you ever had sex with a fat woman in your life?
I've had sex with women that got fat. I love this. This is fun. Using Jennifer's back to sign a release.
In Trump's world, women are graded like showpieces. Height first, then body, and if you're lucky, the face. Beauty is currency, and everything else is just another story to brag about on air. This wasn't banter in the locker room. It was a performance. For millions, sold like an accomplishment. And maybe the real question isn't what he sees in women, but what this says about the audience ethic keeps cheering.
Go out with somebody and she's like 21 and she's talking about, what are you doing? And she's studying algebra. And
So what?
And it's like, it was always embarrassing for me to walk in. It's too young. 30's like a perfect age.
Absolutely. She has enough life experience.
Until she's 35.
Too much life experience.
What is it at 35, Howard? It's called checkout time.
And you're probably, I would say, the greatest judge of beauty on this planet. In fact, I would create a TV show for you where all you did was just judge women.
Now, that may be the best idea of all.
It's a simple thing. It's a half hour, and we strip it out all over the
I would
country.
say I'm the all-time judge.
In Trump's dating math, 30 is just right and 35 is checkout time. Then he crowns himself the all-time judge of beauty, as if turning women into episodes for a tie-up. If looks have an expiry date in his world, you can guess how little else holds value.
Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now, tell me
I'll
what-
tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with it.
Trump doesn't just admit to walking into dressing rooms. He laughs about it, wraps it in the language of inspection, and sells it like a behind-the-scenes Perkoff being the boss. In most jobs, that's called harassment. In his, it's Appenschlein. When someone brags about breaking boundaries, you have to wonder how many more lines are they willing to cross. From late-night punchlines to courtroom evidence, the picture is complete. And if this is how he treats women in public, imagine the silence behind. Closed doors.
Well, she is terrific in bed. Now, she wouldn't want me to say that, but she is.
Oh, man, she's naked there, isn't she?
She is actually there.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a famous beauty.
Oh, what a life you're
Not so
having.
bad, Robin.
this is a candidate. We're talking.
Hey, Donald.
That's right.
Does she wear outfits to bed? Like special outfits?
No, she wears nothing, which is
Nothing,
much
always-
better.
She's a great beauty, but she's a great beauty inside, which is almost as important.
Trump's words land with the subtlety of a late-night infomercial, selling not a policy, not a vision, but his wife's most private details. For a man chasing the presidency, turning the First Lady to be into bedroom banter is less family values and more tabloid headline. And just maybe, Melania's silence isn't shyness, it's strategy.
But don't tell her off, or she might reveal her true feelings. At least Melania stands fully behind Donald Trump's message.
Well, I don't always agree what he tweets.
Okay, well, most of the time. But she's definitely useful to have around when you forget things, like raising your hand for the national anthem.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe this is why Donald and Melania sleep in separate bedrooms. She was laughing too hard at my monologue at night.
The footage plays like a blooper reel for the first couple. Melania standing there nodding along, but never quite in sync, like she's keeping her own private escort card. And in a campaign built on volume and spectacle, Melania's silence paired with moments like these doesn't just speak louder than words. It leaves you wondering if this is how Donald Trump treats the women who share his name. How does he treat the rest of America?
Donald Trump would come on my show, and this is why he was great. There was no filter. I go, Donald, Angelina Jolie, she's one of the most beautiful actresses in the world. She's a 6. Now, who says that? Most people, if they're having that thought, keep that pretty guarded. Not Donald. He was right into it.
Howard's recount paints Trump as a man who never met a microphone he did abuse. Calling Angelina Jolie universally admired beauty a 6 is gust arrogance. It's a window into how casually he objectifies women. For most people, thoughts like that stay lock it away. For Trump, they're broadcast-like campaign slogans.
In a subsequent 2006 appearance on The Howard Stern Show, the host asked, "Did your daughter get breast implants? She looks more voluptuous than ever." In response, Donald said, "No, she didn't get them. She's actually always been very voluptuous. She's tall, she's almost 6 feet tall, and she's an amazing beauty."
On air, Stern tosses a question most fathers would shut down immediately. Instead, Trump treats it like an invitation, describing Ivanka's body as if he were judging a pageant contestant. It's the same appraisal he's given countless other women. Only, this time, the subject is his own daughter. And that's when the line between family pride and brand promotion starts to blur beyond recognition.
Like Howard, I was on Howard Stern show as much as anybody, and he was great at that time. And then he went woke.
Yeah.
And since he's gone woke, his ratings have gone down the tubes, and he sort of went anti-Trump for a couple of reasons. But I was on his show a lot.
Yeah.
In fact, he has a best of. Did you ever see the best of Howard Stern? I don't want to promote it necessarily, but and I was there for just about all of them. The best of. We had good shows. It was good, but he's changed, and he doesn't do the ratings anymore.
For a man who claims to not want to promote Howard Stern, Trump sure spends a lot of time promoting Howard Stern just in the form of a grudge.
The opposite of woke to me is asleep, and I think I'm awake. This must have gotten Trump all charged up, because at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, technically Sunday morning, he starts tweeting out, Howard Stern is a broken loser, jerk off, not loyal, the usual, tirade. And I thought to myself, I'll tell you my thought on it was, what? Imagine you got to be the 45th president of the United States, and you're sitting and writing about Howard Stern.
Right after Trump complained Stern had gone woke, Stern fired back with a linnet that landed like a quiet punch. The opposite of woke to me is asleep, and I think I'm awake. It was enough to hit Trump's nerve, sending him into a 3 a.m. tweet storm. A small exchange, Budit revealed just how easily he can be rattled.
Donald Trump, hands down, whenever you put him on the air, now this is before he was running for president, he was an open book. He would say anything. And, oddly enough, during the campaign and even now, people quote these interviews that I did.
Right after Trump complained Stern had gone woke, Stern fired back with a linnet that landed like a quiet punch. The opposite of woke to me is asleep, and I think I'm awake. It was enough to hit Trump's nerve, sending him into a 3 a.m. tweet storm. A small exchange, Budit revealed just how easily he can be rattled.
Let's face it, it is really unthinkable to me about what's going on in the country right now. The guy I knew I didn't know this was him. I don't believe his stance on abortion, for example. The Donald I know, I think he probably needed to get a few people abortions. I don't know what he's doing. This stance on abortion, that women don't have the right to choose what they, you don't have to get an abortion.
Back then, Trump's lack of a filter was a gold mine for radio. Today, it's a gold mine for prosecutors. It's the perfect irony. The very openness Phaeton's built his celebrity may now be what dismantles his legacy.
Of narcissism is so strong. He has trouble with empathy. We know that. And I wish he'd go into psychotherapy. I'd be so proud of him if he did. He would probably flourish.
But he never has. I mean, he never would.
There's no way. I do not believe he's ever done psychotherapy. I don't think he likes being president.
When even an old ally questions if you're the same man and suspects your policies are theater, that's not just a political rift, it's a credibility crisis. It's hard to sell a moral compass when the people who knew you best think you bought it last week.
Liberties in how he referred to his daughter in public, often joking about her beauty and figure. In 2016, CNN unearthed several examples of Donald making eyebrow-raising comments about Ivanka's appearance on Howard Stern's syndicated radio show.
When you're labeled a narcissist and people suspect, you don't even like Fejub. It makes you wonder, was the Oval Office just another trophy room? In Fiend, it's not the presidency he seems toucherish. It's the mirror it gave him from the offhand. Jabs to his daughter decades of treating women as props, Trump's own words tell the story. What taunts drew laughs now plays as evidence, leaving even those closest to him silent. Hence CNN unearthed those clips in 2016. The laughter from Howard Stern's studio had long faded. What remained was a reel of eyebrow-raising mints that said more about Donald Trump than any political ad ever cowled. These weren't slips of the tongue. They were a pattern performed in public and defended in private. Forwarders, the question writes itself. If this is the image he's comfortable showing the world, what does the unseen version look like? When CNN unearthed those clips in 2016, the laughter from Howard Stern's studio had long faded. What remained was a reel of eyebrow-raising moments that said more about Donald Trump than any political ad ever cowled. These weren't slips of the tongue. They were a pattern performed in public and defended in private. Forwarders, the question writes itself. If this is the image he's comfortable showing the world, what does the unseen version look like? This video is based in publicly available interviews, news coverage, and commentary. It is intended for analysis, commentary, and public interest discussion under fair use. The views expressed are for informational and entertainment purposes, and should not be taken as definitive statements of fact about any individual. If you believe a leader's words matter as much as their actions, share this video. Leave a comment with your thoughts. Do you think these remarks reveal more than I intended? And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss our next deep dive.